are a legitimate top 25 caliber team. Obviously have a lot of experience, a lot of winning experience, which is even probably more important because the environment playing against a Big 12 team won't be a factor in terms of their mindset. They played against really good teams and had success in the tournament. I think they should have won the tournament game that they played last year. And they've got really good players. It's obviously always where it starts. I've known Earl for a really long time. He does a great job, and I expect it to be a battle.
What's his background? How do you guys?
Well, Earl's from Charleston. He's from South Carolina.
Okay.
And, actually, my first year as an assistant coach at Coastal, he was working for Greg Marshall at Winter. That was kind of a rivalry, even though they dominated the league. We felt like, always, the top team always has like deep rivals. They never feel like they have any.
Yeah.
So Winthrop was our rival. We weren't theirs. And then he went to Clemson, and I was in South Carolina. So I've known him for a while. We recruited against each other a few times, and now we know each other a little bit.
How difficult is this then? You're a week into the season with 6 freshmen, and you got to go up against a team that is far more experienced at least.
I mean, I don't know how much difficult it is than last Saturday. Going on and play our first game on the road. Although it wasn't against a team that people think are very good, still these guys have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And so I got to worry about our guys even more so than I can worry about the other team. We practiced our warm-up. I asked the guys what time they're supposed to be here before the game. They have no idea even to get here an hour and a half to get ready and tape. They think you just show up and put your uniform on and somebody throws the ball off and you play. So, all those things. It's part of the process. But I'm excited about the challenge. It's a great opportunity for us to measure ourselves against a really high caliber team, one that'll probably be knocking on the top 25 door all year.
Looks like Chico's starting to come along a little more now.
Yeah. Again, it's a long season, and so like I've said, the last thing I want to do is put him out here and risk him making his injury worse, which means he'll be out longer. I'd rather get him as close to 100%, especially if it's psychologically. But he's been doing more and more every day, and hopefully he'll practice a little bit more tomorrow, and we'll see Sunday if he feels good enough to go out there.
How did you feel about Weather's minutes? He didn't have a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to feel. I think it was good that he was able to get out there with I don't want to say without pressure, but with, obviously the game was in hand when he got in. And the thing you worry about, because it's not just like he was suspended but played last year. I mean, he hasn't played in a game since March of 2017. So for him to have an opportunity to kind of break the ice a little bit in a game where he was, could maybe throw up an air ball or whatever, miss a dunk. But I know he was excited, be juiced, and now hopefully the game will be a little bit more settled when he has the next opportunity.
How has he came along in practices since he's been back? Is he starting to get caught up to speed?
Yeah, he is. He spent a lot of time in the weight room. To get himself ready to play physically, but also in the film room because we do some different things this year. Obviously, he was around the program last year and had a good feel for what we did, but the pieces are different this year as well. So how it works and how it looks is a little bit different. But I give him credit for being mature enough. Because when you're not around, and literally, he wasn't even allowed at practice, not even as an observer, to watch and see what was going on. So he had to find time on his own to get with our video guy and find out what we're doing in practice, to learn the terminology and stuff like that. So he's done a great job of just keeping himself as prepared as he could, considering the circumstances.
You mentioned Wednesday the effort plays that Duncan made, things you've seen in practice, things you saw back when he was in high school. What do you remember about recruiting him?
We really didn't recruit him that long. As you can recall, our recruiting kind of changed a little bit midway upstream. We had identified him early on. We saw him play in the summertime, and I remember seeing a kid who, first of all, had a high basketball IQ. That's the first thing that jumps out to you because sometimes you see a kid at that age make a play that you just don't see very often, whether it be, he sees a play ahead, he screens a guy who's going to be open on a reversal, or, he goes and tips the ball out to a teammate on a rebound. Just little things like that. You're like, wow, this kid's got some pretty good basketball IQ. And then his effort was never a question. For him, it was just a matter of him believing that he was capable of coming to a program like this and having success. And he had a good summer that summer. He was recruited by Iowa State and South Carolina, and but he also had some Ivy League stuff. He was being recruited by Princeton and Harvard too. I mean, so that tells you what type of student and kid he probably is. So, but I remember getting to know him and his family and knowing what type of people that they were, that he would have a great work ethic. That's one of the things we try to identify as kids who have great work ethics, who are unselfish, and who want to be coached. And fit all three.
That's a different type of recruiting battle, to be sort of recruiting against the best of the best academically. How do you?
I remember after he visited here, and you always try to figure out, all right, now, because that's all you can do once you get him here, especially for an official visit. Like, that's it. So you want to know when a decision is going to be being made. And he was waiting to see if his score was good enough for him to get into one of those. And they were, but he still wanted to be able to feel like he had a higher caliber basketball experience. So obviously nothing against the Highlands, but Big 12 basketball maybe a little bit more competitive.
Speaking of recruiting, is it exciting that all of your 2019 class is now official?
Yeah. I mean, this is a product of a lot of hard work by a lot of people over a long period of time. These are guys that we obviously have been recruiting for a long time, specifically as it relates to Keelan and Caleb. We identified them. I remember seeing those kids come here the summer that Brad was the head coach and coming to an elite camp. And it was like, man, these kids are tall, but they cannot play basketball. And it's sad that they're right down the road and they cannot play. And just continue to watch those guys evolve as players and getting to know who they are as people, watching them improve their games. And, it's really encouraging that they wanted to be here, because we want the best kids in the state to put on our uniform if they're good enough to play at this level. And then Avery is somebody else we've been recruiting for a long time. He was actually at that same camp that summer. And we just kind of watched him grow and develop. And then, I've known Marcus for obviously a really long time. His recruitment was a little bit different than theirs, but he came here for an unofficial visit last fall, so he'd been around the program as well. But again, it's a product of the whole staff, the administration, the environment here, that those caliber kids are interested and ultimately decided that this is what they wanted to be. And we're excited about what the future needs. So when I sit in the press conference room and people ask me, how's recruiting going? I mean, I know what we're doing behind the scenes, and there's things that we can't necessarily talk about, but you feel good about the conversations and the type of people who are being attracted to coming to visit your place, and that's where you got to get them. You got to get them on campus.